Okay, that's round one of the speeches over there, and I'd like to welcome Mike to the stage.
Come on.
Okay, everyone. In many senses, I'm actually sort of Nina's dad, Mark, too. And I would like to sort of take this opportunity to thank Raj and Rupal for everything that they've done to contribute to the occasion today. But I've been very privileged and honoured and had the great pleasure of knowing Nina since she was 9 years old. And the first time I met Nina, she probably doesn't remember, but Nina was waiting in the reprographics room of the school that I taught in, which was adjacent to the office that Dawn occupied as the school nurse. And I'd known Dawn for some time since she joined the staff, but I came in one afternoon, about 4 o'clock, and there was a young girl wearing a bright red blouse and a blue skirt, and she fixed me with a penetrating gaze. She didn't say anything, but she just sort of looked at me. So I thought, well, maybe this requires some response. And so I fixed little Miss Attitude with one of my best teacher's gazes. And she then scanned me rather like an X-ray. And I'm pleased to say, to this day, I don't know what she thought. Anyway, in due course, Dawn and I were married, and that, of course, gave me the opportunity to get to know Nina a great deal better. And the opportunities, I think, when we really got to know each other were the first few holidays that we took. The first of those was immediately after our honeymoon in Cornwall. And at that time, sort of, Nina was just 11, just about to embark on secondary education. And Nina was a young lady of great enthusiasms. And when we were in Cornwall, her greatest enthusiasm was for a pair of bright purple, sparkly plastic sandals, which in the fashion argot of the day were called jelly shoes. And Nina was wearing these very, very proudly all along the beach until suddenly a freak wave struck and wrenched one of Nina's jelly shoes off her foot. Immediately she came running up the beach, "I've lost my jelly shoe!" And I think that was the first time that I realised that on regular occasions Nina's world falls apart. And I have to say that it is usually Dawn's job to put it back together again, which she does with consummate skill. Just referring to another holiday that we had, which was the one the following year, in Provence. We drove down camping through France and stayed in Provence for a week. And when we were staying at Bourn, sampling the vineyards there, we went to a restaurant and Nina picked up a little flyer for another restaurant that was called the Restaurant Les Marinières, Le Spécialiste des Moules. 25 specialities. And there was a drawing on the top of it of an anthropomorphic crustacean. What I suppose you might describe as the first muscle man. And Nina promptly dubbed him Monsieur Moore. And that is a drawing she did that evening, Monsieur Moore. And the great thing about Mr. Moore was that, like many of Nina's great enthusiasms, he went with a movement. And that movement was Mr. Moore's dance, which went roughly like this. Moore! Anyway, the following year, we went to Tuscany, and I think that was probably one of the very best family holidays we had. And I'm pleased to say that if you don't know already, Nina and Jamie will be spending their honeymoon in Tuscany. They have got a marvellous fortnight planned out, and Nina will be revisiting some of those places we saw first of all, and introducing Jamie to them. And I'm sure all of you would like to join me in wishing them a very, very happy time over that fortnight. Yeah. Now, of course, Nina had started at Berkhamsted School, and of course Berkhamsted was going to feature very largely in Nina's life, because that actually was the place that she met Jamie. Although they were both at Leeds together, Jamie was at the pub in Berkhamsted the first Christmas after Nina had started at Leeds. And they met each other, discovered that they were both at Leeds together, and they've been together ever since. And yes, and just in case anyone has any possible worries about the strength of their relationship, that was 8 years ago. And I think that what I've seen of Nina and Jamie over those past 8 years convinces me that they are a wonderful couple who have got a wonderful life ahead of them, and I have every faith in that both of them are absolutely devoted to each other. And I'm sure if you saw the service earlier today, that came over so strongly, didn't it, in every minute of the service. Well, just a quick word about Nina. Should I say another quick word about this? Nina, as you know, is a drama queen, both on stage and in real life. She's also, you may not know, a very accomplished drummer, and it's always a matter of regret to me that Dawn and I sold her set of drums when she went to university. But we had to make some room in her bedroom. That was the way that it went. Now, talking about Nina and Jamie, I think one of their great strengths is that Jamie understands Nina's requirements perfectly. Now, there are times, I hesitate to say, when Nina's temper can get the better of her. It put me in mind of a film poster that I saw recently that, if I may paraphrase, was for a film called The Wrath of Nina. And the slogan for this film was, "Feel the wrath." Now, I have seen occasions when Jamie has felt the full wrath of Nina. But he is brilliant at not reacting. And he knows exactly how to deal with Nina in a situation like that. It puts me in mind of a very elderly couple who are celebrating something like their, diamond wedding or something like that, and they asked the husband, what is the secret of a successful marriage? And he answered with 2 words, yes dear. I think Jamie has learned that lesson. Finally, I'd just like to say that if there is one thing that Nina has brought into this world and will continue giving to it, it is joy and fun and laughter. She is just the most wonderful person to be with. That is why she has bridesmaids, one of whom, Rachel, goes back to her primary school days, 2 of whom, Sarah and Antonia, go back to her days at Berkhamsted, and of course the other 2 bridesmaids are now very much part of her family as well. So Nina has drawn all these people together, and I think if Nina is able to bring that joy to the marriage that she has with Jamie, and I don't have any doubt that she will, I think that both of them have a wonderful future together. And I'd ask you please to raise your glasses to a toast to Nina and Jamie.
Nina and Jamie!
It's been about 10 years. Well, what happened to the hair?